What do you do when two words that used to make you feel loved now make you want to throw up? The two words were good boy. 8 months ago, they made my brain light up like a slot machine. Now I can't hear them without feeling sick. I met Mara at a campus poetry open mic in September. I was a freshman on partial scholarship. Small town kid, quiet, anxious, desperate to fit in somewhere. She was a sophomore art major with chokers and combat boots, and the kind of confidence I'd never had. She looked at me like I was interesting, like I was special. Nobody had ever looked at me like that before. We started dating fast, too fast, but I didn't care, because every time I did something she liked, she'd touch my cheek and smile and call me good boy, like it was our little secret. When I held the door, when I brought her coffee exactly how she liked it, when I let her text first so I didn't seem needy. Every time she said it, something in my chest unlocked. I started doing more things just to hear it again. The rules started small. Text her when I got to class safely. Wear the clothes she picked out. Don't touch myself without permission, because good boys wait. I thought it was just a game. When I followed the rules, I got praise and attention I'd never experienced. When I didn't, she went cold. Not angry, just disappointed. That was somehow worse. I'd apologize until she finally smiled and said, "There's my good boy," and everything felt right again. I didn't realize she was conditioning me. The rules got bigger. She made me skip a midterm study group to drive her friends an hour off campus. She started having me pay for everything. Food, Ubers, drinks. Good boys take care of their girl, don't they? I nodded. Of course they did. Then came the public stuff, carrying her backpack across campus while she walked ahead ignoring me, doing whatever she said in front of her friends just to see if I would. I always did. I told myself this was just how relationships worked. One night, I showed up at her dorm unannounced. The door was unlocked. I walked in and found a middle-aged man in a suit kneeling on her floor, handing her an envelope of cash, calling her mistress. Mara didn't flinch. She introduced me as my other project and told him to wait in the bathroom. Then she explained, calm as anything, that this was her job, professional domination. Everything she'd done with me was free practice. I stood there horrified, humiliated, and still desperate for her approval. That's when she started pushing for real money. She wanted me to drain my savings. Good boys prove they're serious. When I hesitated, she mentioned the videos, the ones she'd been taking of me begging, apologizing, doing whatever she asked. She said she'd post them if I tried to leave. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat. My grades tanked. I was down to one friend, Sam, my high school lab partner who refused to give up on me. Sam found me in the dining hall looking like a skeleton. He slid a printed article across the table. Submissive conditioning, financial domination scams, coercive control. I read every word while he sat in silence. Then he said, "You're not crazy. You're being abused." I shoved the article back at him. "You don't know her like I do." He didn't argue, just said, "Read it again when you're ready," and left it on the table. I read it 6 more times that night. Every paragraph described something Mara had done. Every warning sign was a memory. I couldn't find a single reason to believe it wasn't true. Next morning, I texted Sam, "I think I need help." He walked me to the campus counseling center himself. I blocked her on everything while sitting in the waiting room. My hands were shaking so bad I kept hitting the wrong buttons. Then I typed one message: "Delete the videos or I report you to the university for running a business out of campus housing." Stared at it for 10 minutes before sending. Every minute of waiting felt like an hour. I kept imagining my face on every screen on campus, imagining my parents getting a link. 47 minutes later, she replied, "Done. You're pathetic. No one will ever want you." Didn't respond. I just sat there until the counselor called my name. The first few weeks were the hardest. I flinched every time my phone buzzed. I had nightmares where she showed up at my door and I let her in, but I kept showing up, counseling every week. Sam dragged me to the gym. I got a job at the campus bookstore. One afternoon, my manager asked me to stay late. I almost said yes automatically. Then I stopped. "Actually, I can't tonight." She said, "Okay, no guilt, no punishment, just okay." I walked back to my dorm and cried for 20 minutes. Because I was sad, because I'd forgotten that no was something I was allowed to say. 3 weeks ago, I walked past Mara on the quad. She saw me coming, smirked. As I passed, she whispered, "Good boy." Under her breath, quiet enough that only I could hear. I kept walking, didn't flinch, didn't look back, didn't feel anything except the sun on my face and my own feet carrying me forward. 2 words used to control my entire life. Now they're just sounds, and she's just a girl who taught me exactly what love isn't supposed to look like.